Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WCS America 2015 Qualifier number 2. This is a qualifying match. It's one of the more important matches as well, because one of these two are going to join the rest for the first season of WCS. The slate's been cleared, and there's nobody in Premier, there's nobody in Challenger. Everyone fights from the ground up. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, from my insanity, we have the pink Zerg player Kane.
In the bottom right, as the red Terran, it's CM Storm's Polt. America. Party time. Excellent. Okay.
Well, Polt is normally, I think, the crowd favorite. There's no question about that. I mean, when it comes to fame, who's Kane in comparison to somebody like Polt? That being said, I still stand by. I think if there's a Zerg player who could take Polt down that's not a Korean, it would be Kane. He's one of the better foreign Zerg players there are. He definitely has his moments where it gets awkward, but generally speaking, he's a really strong contender for this slot. So I wouldn't count him out. This should be a good series, guys.
Yeah. I just realized, with Flo in here, I could watch professional observing.
Wow!
What is she doing? She's just roaming around the map. Oh, that is the sickest intro. I think they're introducing Polt. She did like a full 360 around Polt's base, and
they do that thing where you spin in, don't you? Like you go like this,
yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's Polt's. Whatever. It's too fancy for me, man. I'm good with just good old classic zoom in, spin a bit.
I do want to talk about this map, though. You're bringing up, Kane being a good contender. I definitely agree, especially since Polt has not looked like the stable. He can always fall back on the macro game Polt. Where people fall back on, cheeses, it seems that Polt falls back on macro games. Not really the case lately. Been a little odd games, or maybe some shaky games, and of course getting TO'd by Hydra is, you can't really look at that and be like, oh, they're terrible, because, Hydra. But it might say something about him versus Zerg.
Right, but one of the things when he played Hydra yesterday for that same qualifying match, I don't think like Hydra did anything too out of the ordinary. Like he just played really solid, really well. So it's not like Hydra cheesed Polt out and he's like, oh shucks, well, I guess I got to play tomorrow. Like Polt already lost to one player who played standard against him, and Kane could very well be that same person.
Right, and it is King Sejong, so we don't have any data to actually back this up. It's just the feeling we both have, and hey, it might if anyone wants to go ahead and look that up. But it seems that Polt just doesn't, he tries to do something on King Sejong and then mutas. It's just like, and then mutas. That's like the end of the sentence. He just seems that this is his map where he would lose out on, unless he played that very passive Polt quick 4-base style, and then he has a decent shot.
Well, the map itself, I mean, to see something like Swarm Host or Roach Hydra to Kane would be weird, I would say. Not to say it's out of his repertoire, but I imagine this is going to be Banley's and mutas. In fact, going on that point, we've seen so much 2-base muta on this map because we've been casting a lot of players like Impact and stuff lately. So for a moment, I had to do a double take. I'm like, oh, these gases are late. Oh, but wait, that's right. This is not Impact.
Yeah, that's for sure. I already tuned down those back rocks. Getting that 4th base to the left. What's the mission? I totally forget. Alright then. Okay, sorry. So you do say that, it's probably going to be Ling Bling Muta, and I really hope that it is. It sounds so odd to be like, Polt's a, more macro, like fall back on your macro, and then to say, I hope the Zerg player plays normal against what some of you guys might be considering a better player. But I really, Roach Hydra, Polt has a lot of, practice with that against Violet, those guys have a rivalry, and Violet loves Roach Hydra, so would not like to see that, even if Kane was really good with it. Anything else, trying to incorporate Swarm Host, still very unpracticed, unclean. Don't try and mix it up here. Just go with the solid, macro style, and I think you could definitely take down Polt. Kane, talk to you.
Well, quick little shout out to Moving Laterally. Nice name. $5 donation. Says, I like bananas. I too sort of like bananas.
They are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, so Polt not having gone with this heavy Reaper opening or anything, so we're just going straight to Helling Banshee. I mean, he's gonna get a couple drone kills, oddly enough, maybe? Oh, double kill cancels out of Kane. But because of this, we don't really have a lot of stress on Kane's side. You know, there was no Reaper to dance around. There's no situation where he's worried about getting pressure for all these build counts until now, oddly enough. But for Kane's sake, we'll see if this Banshee hurts. It's going to be a while before we get a layer out, so Spore Crawler here at the Natural is going to be his best bet at stopping this menace.
That was a beautiful scout, though. Not the best, you know. He could have gotten all up in the base and seen the lack of an armory, but still, seeing the Banshees and the stim tells him most of everything he needs to know.
Yeah, I actually I thought the Banshee was getting much worse, but it's actually no cloak, just a quick Viking follow-up.
Did he cancel it? I could
Yeah,
have sworn I saw that.
I swear I saw cloak too, but no, it's not here. It's gone. It's on the production tab. So with the Viking coming up afterwards, might clear up some overlords, but it's these Hellions that are the true threat now.
Yeah, but with so many queens, I mean, even without, he has speed, but no speedlings really. 4 go down.
Yeah,
that was pretty nice for just getting no damage on the Hellions.
Well, one of them's almost dead, but yeah, didn't really lose any. The queens out here are gonna not be here to defend the main, but the Spore Crawlers, the Banshee, it'll get some kills, but probably not too many.
I really do miss, you know, we still call it the Polt Viking because, you know, Vikings and Polt, whatever. But I do miss the Polt Viking into 4 Marauder medevac drop.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem to do that anymore, but they get in here. This is a, you know, it kills a lot of drones.
Yeah.
And some links too. I mean, there's a lot of Hellions.
18, 20 drones.
I do think that was worth it. I was going to be like, well, is it worth losing the Hellbats? And I would go, yes, I think that is worth it.
Yeah, Banshee looking to get in for some action too. Looks like he did pick off a couple in the main, but for the most part, Kane. I mean, that could have gone much worse. Like, if had those Hellions actually lived and dived elsewhere, if they split, maybe Kane's Queen's in the wrong position. But yeah, 20 is pretty much the maximum amount of damage his third base could have taken, and he took all of that. So I guess the upside is that the Hellions died for it.
I mean, when you imagine 21 workers have been killed, he would have been producing lings already, like a long time ago, actually. He's still droning. Already on a 4th base, too, probably.
I wonder if he thinks he killed this. I mean, this isn't a big deal because the Queen's is going to kill it later, but...
It's funny. It's just stuck back there. No one see me. I'm hidden.
Banshee take out, or sorry, Queen's take out that Banshee. I did take those back rocks down long time ago, so we'll expand over there towards his 4th. Meanwhile, for Polt, he does get a 3rd setup nicely behind this. His goal at this point, though, I mean, combat chills, +1/+1, like he's got this really nice timing setup. It looks like he's going to try and push with this. So his pressure towards that potential 4th, actually it's going to be a 4th as he gets slapped down, is going to be really hard to deal with because Kane, you're right, like he had to go for the extra round of drones. He's only just got banelings coming in. There's no creep spread over here, no centrifugal hooks, so taking a fight against this is going to be hard. Loses a Queen right away. 2nd Queen almost goes down. Nice clutch transfuse, but I don't think he can deal with this. Widowmines on the ground, go off on a decent amount of lings. One of them wastes themselves on the Queen, but Polt also knocks down that 4th, so nice job for him.
Yeah. Considering that, though, that type of attack is usually just immediately thwarted, you know? The banelings are already morphed, and you roll onto them, and they just have to pick up anyways. And that did a lot of damage. Canceling a 4th was really, really good.
A large amount of Marines and Widowmines still coming across the map to reinforce this. I do like that Polt started adding in a couple of the Marauders to soak those Widowmines in the front, or sorry, the banelings on the front lines. But Kane just doesn't have a lot of banelings, period. This is a situation where if we watch somebody like True, they've always seemed to have got just 20 banelings at all given times, no matter what. Kane's only just barely gotten that baneling count up to 11.
Things are, you know, actually looking... It's so critical to say already looking so bad, but...
It is looking a bit grim unless he can take a good hit on these banelings. Polt's whole army's here, and his Widowmines, there's a lot of Marines. The spread's going to be crazy. The Mutalisks are coming out, but the 12 Mutas... What can they really get done through this? The Marines are going to drive them back every single time they dip in for an engagement.
Obviously, the key to defeating Zerg on this map for Polt is just not to let them get to Mutas that easily. And then he's good to go.
Well, apparently, waiting for this hatchery to finish to kill it, maybe, I think is the goal. Like, he really didn't even pepper this thing. Didn't want Kane to cancel it, perhaps, but... First Widowmine goes off. Mutas should be able to pick off 2 Marines. So finally, a little bit of an edge for Kane. The baneling count's still sitting on 20 barely. It's going to be so hard to get that perfect engagement. Transfuse is going to the hatch, trying to keep it alive. Getting fed up, starting to send the links, and remembers that there's Widowmines. Going to play this a little bit more carefully. Dives in, picks off that front one.
no overseer speed, so they really are quite bad at going in and sniping off those Widow Mines right now. Nice drop deflection there. Very easy.
Oh,
pick up that Helen!
Oh, the Hell Bat! Oh! This could actually hurt a lot. There's no ground defense. The Queen should still kill it. That 2 shots, right? 3 shots.
It runs in. I thought the Medivac was going to heal it.
Queen, please, Kane, Queen. Oh my God. Okay, well, while all these things at the top after that, look at it, he finally kills it. Kind of awkward to go off. Kane decides to push into this big force on here in the bottom. Widow Mines still have yet to go off. He's doing a good job of dodging them out, but he's just not getting a lot done for this. His supply is starting to drop pretty harshly. Yeah, he's just down in a big way. Twin and Bailing's on the way. This will make up for a second when they finish hatching, but Kane is on 1-1, about to be 2-2. Maybe that's the time he's waiting for to try and break free, but Polt's still got this drop up here. A couple of Marines waiting to go I guess push back into a mineral line.
Polt does give him a little bit of a breather, but I guess he was just joining up with most of the rest of the army, so he's back on the front. Creep spread, unfortunately, was just never able to get very far out, and actually, Kane has had to go for it.
Oh, the Widow Mine shots are so good, though. The Bailings are completely eradicated, but the Mutalisk count looks like it's going to be enough. Polt in a bit of trouble now. He's not got a whole lot of medevacs left. He actually loses all those. The last couple of Marines going to go down. He's got a huge army supply lead, though. Kane takes out the front lines, but Polt's got a backup.
Yeah, there's nothing behind this. You know, if Polt just rushed forward with whatever he has, and it's kind of scary, he could definitely take down that fort, I think. The Banelings still have to wait to form.
Yeah, at the very least for Kane, his drone count didn't really suffer behind this. Like, that Hellbat didn't fry up a ton of drones at the third. This drop didn't really eradicate the main. So his income has looked pretty solid while this went on. Problem is, I think he just bled out a couple more units that he can't really afford to lose. 8 Mutalisks down at this point, and really just not a lot of Banelings still to see.
Yeah, that was the harshest thing about that. And of course, the fact that the 4th base never was able to get those gas geysers, it's not a useless 4th base, but it's not the most useful. Like, you want that 4th base for the gas, more so than the minerals, but only just now getting that. Of course, the upgrades are going to start to play a part here, as +3 is on the way for Polt. Actually getting a very quick 5th and 6th base. Wow.
He's feeling a little bit confident behind this. I think he knows he's got Kane on the ropes, but the thing for Kane is if he can take that one sweet engagement, if the Widow Mines go on the worst possible hits and the Banelings get all the perfect connections, there is a scenario where he completely counterattacks and kills Polt. But that's so unlikely to happen. The chances are really against Kane.
Yeah. He just needs to hold on to this 4th so much more than he is. You know, never able to get that creep spread any farther out, too. I think most of the queens are dead or just ran back home or something.
Well, he cleans up this drop with the Mutalisks. Wasn't sure if that was going to get unscattered or not. I don't think Polt actually remembers about this one. It just seems to be that he parks units up here. It's like, all right, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Now he personalities to Marines. The medevac's actually a really nice thing to have if you could bring this with the army. But as you see, Kane's still holding on to this, but his supply has been dropping every time they engage. And Polt's still been sitting on like 122 army supply this whole game. Kane goes from like 90 to 80, now down to barely 70. Banelings are going to try and get on top of this. Here come the Mutas from the other side. Hoping to bait out that Widow Mine shot. Oh, it's going to stick as he clumps up. I think that's it for Kane.
That's it.
He went a little too all in. Good game. And Polt will snatch victory in game number 1.